Hey! It's the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day today. We got a lot to talk about. Just so we can be clear, today's conversation is going to be about Diddy. We're not just going to talk about the situation going on with that's currently going on. We're going to discuss that, obviously. But I have some questions, as y'all already see in the chat. Please drop a comment or two. Do you think Diddy was behind the death of Biggie? I'm curious about this. I want y'all to comment and I want y'all to vote on this. Also, we're going to be talking about Trump. Do you believe that the Trump judge is corrupt? I want to speak on this also today, just so we can be clear. But before we even, shout out to Brandon Washington, already dropped a comment in the chat. But before we get to any of this, there is something that I want to discuss yesterday, because I want to, it's something, you know, I'm giving people opportunity to come in. And it is something that I want to discuss, and I want to ask you guys' opinion on this. So the first thing I want to say is this. This is just real quick BBN business. It's going to take about 2 minutes. I just want to give people an opportunity to come into the chat. Don't go nowhere. So ask me, is this a sucker move? Right? So everybody knows that it should be pretty obvious that I'm an individual who is, you know, doing whatever the transitions is going on in my own personal life. I try to abstain from violence as best as I can. I try to, as best as I can, do what I believe to be the right thing. Obviously, I'm not always successful. Who is, right? So recently, just yesterday, check this out. So, you know, the individual that keep going on social media everywhere, calling me a pussy, saying I'm a sucker, talking all this crazy shit about me. So first of all, come to find out, one of the dudes live like a couple of blocks away from me. And he's been living there, and I've never saw him. Y'all already know I'm outside everywhere on camera, so I'm not ducking nothing. I just want to be clear with this. So obviously, I'm not ducking nothing. I didn't even know the mofo lived over here. So just yesterday, I'm walking down the block, and I think that I see him coming towards me like this. Now, just for better clarity, there's been about 4 or 5 people that I've walked up on that I thought was him, and it wasn't, just so we can be clear. So I'm walking, and I think I see him, but I'm not 100% sure. The individual was walking down the block with their phone like this, talking, right? So they get up on me, and they're mumbling something. I'm looking close. I'm like, because I haven't seen the individual in like over a year. So I don't know how they look. Like, I know how they look, but, you know, I've made a mistake a couple of times. So the individual walks past me, and as they're walking past me, I stop, and I'm like, I think that's him, to myself. And I turn around and I look, and at that moment, they're also turning around, looking over their shoulder, not turning around, turning over, looking over their shoulder. And then they say on they jump off on their phone, see, I told you he's not going to do nothing. He's pussy. I want to explain something to you. This individual is trying to get me arrested. This individual is trying to get me involved with the police. This individual is trying to put me in a situation where I get arrested so I can go to jail, so then they can try to figure out a way to make me homeless. So I need for you to keep this in the back of your mind as I tell you what happened. So when he said that to me, I turned around and I'm like, so I'm pussy. So where you going? What's up? Now, this is not about being a sucker. This isn't about being anything. This is not about being a real nigga, Pardon me. This ain't about being a real nigga or nothing. But I grew up in an era that once you call a nigga a pussy and that nigga confronts you, you have to stand your ground. If I'm wrong about any of this, put it in the chat, please. If somebody calls you a pussy and then you see the individual, you have to stand your ground. You're not allowed to do what this individual did, where he walked off and ran into the supermarket. So this is the same individual that's trying to get as many people in the neighborhood to want to shoot me, to want to kill me, take my life, and trying to get people to run up on me and jump me. This is the same individual. But when I see them in person, they run into the supermarket and call their family. And then comes to my home when he knows that I'm not here, yelling and screaming for me to come outside and fight. Right after that happens. So I'm saying all that to say this. Stop believing suckers. This same dude is trying to put everybody else's life and my life in jeopardy. But the moment they're confronted, they run into the supermarket and start calling family members to come help them. And also, just so we could be clear, when he came to my home and I wasn't here, and he's outside yelling and screaming, he's also alerting his family members because they live nearby. So this same individual that is constantly on social media talking crazy about me. First of all, his biceps are like this, are like my wrist. I need for you to understand this. This is not joking. I'm not exaggerating. His biceps are basically about like my wrist. Okay? About the width of a woman's biceps. So please stop being out here just believing anything that niggas say. Stop doing that. Just stop doing that. These dudes is all suckers. So I'm outside straight up saying, you a bitch ass nigga. He starts walking faster. Then he puts his gloves on. I ask him, okay, show me how them gloves work. You a tough guy. He runs into the supermarket. Not runs, but he's walking as fast as possible so he could get into the supermarket. Now, for anybody that's asking why I didn't just walk up on him and slap the shit out of him, he's on his live. Or talking to somebody on the damn thing. The last thing I'm trying to do is have a situation where I get into an altercation with somebody trying to escape me. There is no way that I'm going to be able to get around that when the police show up. You understand? Also, he's gonna pull up to where I live at with the police because this is part of the plan. Think about all the people that this individual is trying to send to come attack me. All of the times he tried to get me jumped. All of the times that I could have possibly gotten shot. And that nigga couldn't stand around and fight his own fight. Now, with that being said, I haven't done anything to him. Nigga ready to get people killed in real life to make a name on social media. Think about that for a minute. 1 second. Let's talk about this Diddy shit. Nigga ready to get niggas killed in real life. Me or anybody else killed in real life. So he could try to make a name on social media. What up, Motivational Creations? I'll holler at you about it later. Obviously, that's all I want to say here. I'll holler at you about it later. I'm good, though. You already know. You already know. I'm good though. Homeboy a whole sucker. You understand? He a whole sucker. So no, and just so we could be clear, so no, fam. I have no plans on trying to put hands on you because you trying to put me in jail. I'm not stupid. Let's get to the show. Shout out to Brandon Washington. And shout out to Motivational Creations. Everybody drop comments. We talking about Diddy. Brandon Washington says, you already know. So we getting back to the show. Started back over. Today's show, the allegations about Diddy having something to do with Biggie's death, and we're going to be talking about how Trump's judge is actually corrupt. Or do you think Trump's judge is corrupt? Some people might not think so, so put it in the chat. Anyway, Brandon Washington says, you know what I want to ask? Who was influencing Diddy when he was with Biggie? Was Diddy always working on his own, or did he have an answer to? I want to know that what shines some light on Biggie times. Okay, so Andre Harrell. Everybody knows who Andre Harrell is, right? So Diddy got introduced into the music industry with Uptown Records. Everybody know who Uptown Records is? Motivational Creation says corrupt. I agree. Everybody know who Uptown Records is. Uptown Records was ran by Andre Harrell. Actually, Kim Porter, I believe, used to be Andre Harrell's secretary. As everybody should know, Kim Porter she passed away. She has three of Diddy kids. Kim Porter. She was how do you call that? Secretary for Andre Harrell at Uptown Records. So when Diddy came into the industry, Uptown, also Diddy has a situation with Andre Harrell where I believe he did him like super dirty. So there's an allegation. I do not know how true this is, but I'll tell y'all what the allegation is. So there's an allegation that allegedly Andre Harrell was doing some Diddy stuff to Diddy. Like it was called the Harrell before that. Just so we could, they were like, yo, we about to get AH'd. Allegedly, Andre Harrell, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but you know, it is what it is. It's the music industry. So allegedly, Andre Harrell had been making Diddy, you know, top him off, allegedly, and a lot of other things. And that's what led, or should I say, is probably what Diddy was incorporating into Bad Boy. And what Diddy, you know, is currently in trouble for, just so we could be clear. So these are just allegations. Obviously, I don't know how true this is. So these are just allegations. I don't have the slightest idea how true this is. So as far as Andre Harrell is concerned, that's who, to answer your question, who was influencing Diddy when he was with Biggie. I think that was the influence of Andre Harrell, just so we could be clear, that led for Biggie to do some of the things that, Diddy to do some of the things that he was doing that currently he's currently in trouble for, because I'm assuming that all of this stuff that he's doing now, he was doing previously also, right? Just so we could be clear, I'm assuming all of the things that Diddy is currently in trouble for now, if not everything that he's in trouble for now, a lot of the things he was doing previously back in the 90s. At least that's the allegations in which I've heard. I've heard a lot of things. There are some people who actually want Mary J. Blige arrested, just so we can be clear. And they're saying that Mary J. Blige actually was helping Diddy with some of the things that Diddy was doing. And just so we could be clear, often when you are a person that is doing what Diddy is doing, you need a woman to help spearhead and trick some of these girls. If you want to look at Epstein, you can look at I forgot her name. Somebody could put her name in the chat. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I need to see it written, and it helps me pronounce it. But Ghislaine Maxwell, I think that was her name. That was the lady that was with Epstein, right? And she got arrested also. I don't know if she's still alive. I know he ain't, allegedly. So allegedly. So you often need a woman in order to be able to do some of these things. So with that also being said, who isn't to say that this is what Mrs. Porter's job could have possibly have been at one point. So I want to say something real quick, and this is just a movie I'll never forget. Shout out to Clint Eastwood. This is a movie I'll probably never forget. Just so we could be clear, something would have to happen to my cranium, my brain, in the course. But do y'all remember the movie Sudden Impact? So Sudden Impact was I think Sudden Impact was the name of it. I should go look it up real quick. So Sudden Impact was a Dirty Harry movie. And in Sudden Impact, I got both of these shits connected. Hold on. I was wondering why I was dragging. Hold on. So Sudden Impact was a Dirty Harry movie. And in Sudden Impact, I think that's the name of the movie. I'm checking right now. What happened was there was these two sisters who had gotten R-worded by a group of bikers. And the only reason why yeah, they got R-worded by a group of bikers. It's a revenge flick. It's actually a dope movie. Go check it out. And one of the reasons, shout out to T-Moto Productions, salute, he says peace, health, everyone in the chat. And one of the reasons why they were able to R-word these girls is because the bikers had these at least one female that was with them, and they was letting them think everything was okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're just hanging out. Yeah. And then they took the young ladies to the beach and where they was isolated at, and that's when they took advantage of them or whatever the case is. So often when these things are happening, where these young ladies are being tricked and they're being isolated and they're being convinced to do things that they probably wouldn't normally agree to, it's because there's other women there saying, no, it's okay. Nah, let's do it. It's fine. And they're bringing them into bad situations. Nervin Nemesis Jack, do you think Biggie would have left Bad Boy if he lived? All right, let's get to that conversation real quick. Now, this is from, do you want to, wait, before I even answer this, Nervin, do you want to know, let's put T-Moto's peace and blessings up there for 2 seconds. So Nervin, before I answer this, do you want to know what I think, like in context to the information that's out there currently, or do you want to know what I personally might have come across first? I just want to be clear. You want to know what I personally might have come across first, or do you want to know what I think in regards to the information that's currently available? Put it in the chat. I just want to be clear, because sometimes I'm not as clear on these things as possible, and what it causes for people to think is that I'm like pretending to always be right about things, when half of the time I'm just telling you about some information that I found out. You want to know the information that I personally have knowledge of, or do you want to know personal first? So this is, I obviously, this is just what I've heard through people that I know. Biggie was 100% leaving Diddy. Diddy already knew. Biggie did not want to be there anymore. Diddy was actually signing artists. Diddy was taking Kim with him. Diddy was taking Junior Mafia with him, which he has to take both of them anyway because he writes their lyrics. So Diddy was taking Kim with him. Diddy was taking Junior Mafia with him. Diddy was about to sign some other people. Now, that's what I know on that front. But he was 100% leaving. 100%. Why do you think dude got on the stage and said, if you want to sign to somebody that isn't going to be dancing in all of your videos? Why do you think that dude said that? You think he just said that because he was just like trying to throw a shot? He wasn't just saying that because he was trying to throw a shot. He was literally letting Biggie know you could come over here to the West Side. He was talking to Biggie. He was talking to Biggie and everybody that was going to leave with Biggie. That's who he was talking to. I don't know if he's ever going to say that, but that's who he was talking to, because there were rumbles already that Biggie was not happy because Biggie wasn't receiving the monies in which he was supposed to be receiving. All of this, they was doing Biggie the way that they do a lot of these artists out here, where they make it look like they got money, but they don't really have any control over their finances. That's what was happening to Biggie. So Biggie wanted better control over his finances. He didn't like, this is what I heard, he didn't like the situation. So Biggie is busy looking at the Tupacs over there in the West and all of these dudes over there in the West, and he really thinking niggas is getting paid, and he not seeing the money he's supposed to be making. I'm making all this money, and another nigga got total control over it. I can't even really do for my family the way that I want to do. And from what I hear, Biggie really was a big-hearted nigga. Like, he wasn't, he was really a big-hearted dude. This is from what I heard. He was really a big-hearted dude. Like, he really wanted to, help out Brooklyn. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he really wanted to do these things. He really wanted to do much more than he actually was able to do at that time. He just didn't have any money, control over his money. You understand what I'm saying? He was in a effed up deal. So he 100% allegedly 100% wanted to leave Bad Boy, and it was known in the industry. This was not a secret. Allegedly, this was not a secret. This is just shit that I found out. Like, niggas knew Biggie wanted to leave Bad Boy when Biggie was still alive in the streets, if you knew the right people. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, it's not that big of a secret. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you heard about it, you might not have believed it. You understand what I'm saying? You know how you hear about some shit, but you like, nah, them niggas don't. Them niggas is, look at their videos. Them niggas is looking happy together. It was one of those situations. You heard about it, but it was like, I don't know if I believe it, because I see these niggas, and when they together, it don't look like it's an issue. So that's from what I know in regards to that. Now, when we listen to some of the things that people are saying in the industry now, Mace even said he brought Cam to Biggie. Why would Mace do that? Puff played everybody. Why would Mace do that if Biggie wasn't trying to do his own thing? Why would Mace bring Cam to Biggie if Biggie wasn't trying to do his own thing? Who brings a fucking artist to another nigga that's just the artist? You don't really do that. You bring a nigga to a dude because that dude is about to do some things, or he's trying to do some things, or he's getting some shit off the ground. Also, Mace didn't bring Cam to Puffy. Why? Because he knew that Puffy Diddy was doing weirdo shit. He knew his contract was messed up. Yeah, drop some lyrics. He knew his contract was messed up. And Cam is really his man, as we could all see. So why would he do that? It don't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So that's more proof. And that's just, I think, the biggest proof, in my opinion, that Biggie was trying to branch out and leave Puff. You had Puff's artists bringing rappers to Biggie, not bringing rappers to Puff. Nervous says Biggie was coming out with a clothing line and a restaurant first. Puff stole his ideas. I don't think Puff has original ideas. I don't think Diddy has original ideas at all. At all. He's not a person that has original ideas. He tries to suppress you so he can steal your ideas. You understand? He doesn't have original ideas. Brandon Washington puts Biggie, somebody gotta die. Cause I'm a criminal way before the rap shit. Bust that gat shit. Puff won't even know what happened. If it's done smoothly, silences on the Uzi, stash in the hoopty. So he was already talking about taking Puff out. That's what you're saying? My alibi. Any cutie with a booty that done fuck Big Pop. Head spinning, reminiscing about my man C-Rock. Wait, hold on. So you're saying that the other lyric was basically him talking about him pipe possibly? Them niggas was beefing, fam. I heard they was beefing. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying that they was. I don't. What the fuck? I wasn't there. But I heard it was. I heard it was beef. I heard it was a lot hotter than like a lot more. But they, you know, they was in public. You know, it is what it is. But that's why dude said that at the Source Awards, allegedly. You understand? That's why I believe he said that at the Source Awards, just so we can be clear. Remember, right now, Big Puff Diddy is being accused of taking out Tupac and being accused of being taken out Biggie. And have y'all heard about the latest thing about how he might be turning evidence against Jay-Z? Anybody heard about that yet? Brandon Washington says, I think he might be saying Puff ain't what he said he was, but Puff had Biggie's money bag. Let's look at the line again. Anybody else got any Biggie lines you think might be a little, you know, we need to take an extra look at? Put them in the chat. You nobody till somebody kills you. I think that's the song, right? Is that the song? I don't know if that's the song or not. Anyway, of course, I'm a criminal way before this rap shit, bust the gat shit. Puff won't even know what happened if it's done smoothly. Side is on a Uzi, stash in a hoopty. And I'm going to say something. When I first learned that line, heard that line, I thought he was basically saying, no, he'll do it and Puff won't even know that he did it, but not to Puff, to you. He might be talking about Puff. These niggas was beefing. One more thing I want to add, and then we can talk about this Jay-Z thing if y'all want. One more thing I want to add. And I heard this old shit. How do I don't, it could be true, it could be not true. But I think it's true. And I think there's been confirmation to this already. Biggie didn't want to go. Biggie didn't want to go out west. When that happened to him, he didn't want to go. Puff had to convince him. He didn't want to go. Puff had to convince him. Now, what is something I've been saying on this channel for a long time? I've been telling y'all, Puffy got him killed because they knew about the beef that was over there. Biggie didn't want to go in the first place. Puff convinced him to go. Pardon me. Puff convinced him to go, and then it happened. So even taking out all the context that those two dudes could have been beefing, even taking out all of the context that they probably wasn't on good terms, even taking out all of the context that Biggie was talking about leaving him, why would you have your man go somewhere that you know niggas is gunning for him? Why would you have your man go somewhere that you know niggas is gunning for him? Taking all of the rest of the context out, why would you do that? I remember being younger and me and my peoples is going places. And once a nigga be like, yo, he got some real beef somewhere, and we supposed to be going to party. Like, we not going to go check the beef. We going to party. Niggas is like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, nah, fuck that shit. Like, this is real beef. This ain't fake beef. This ain't no we gonna scrap. Because if we just gonna scrap, then fuck it. How many of us is it? It's 6 or 7 of us. We can go. It's 4 or 5 of us. We could go. The niggas I grew up with, you know, especially when we was in our heyday in our teenage years, we could fight 2 niggas at the same time apiece. So we got 5 of us. We not scared of no 10 niggas. I don't know no better way to explain this shit to you. That's why even now, if you see me, I'm not scared to go nowhere alone. I'm alone all the time. I'll be going places where I'm not even, y'all see me on the fucking phone, where niggas don't even fuck with me. And I'll be there by myself. I'm not shitting on nobody, and I'm not trying to talk shit about nobody. I'm just telling you what it is. A lot of that has to deal with the fact that I grew up with some niggas. That if it was 3 or 4 of us, we going wherever the hell we want to go, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, if there was some real beef where we feel like somebody might get, you know, we might have to kill a nigga, or somebody might try to kill us, we're not going there to party. We might be going there if, you know, we got to get, you know, active, but we're not going there to party. Because niggas going somewhere to party, we want to party. We want to be able to sit back, drink, and enjoy ourselves. Niggas don't want to be all tight. Like, why you going to go somewhere just to be tight? That don't make sense. I'm not saying we never did, because that'd be a lie. But, you know, generally speaking, we did. But we went quite a few places where we all the way outnumbered. Like, outnumbered. Shout out to Fancy Black. Shout out to Slick Dog. Shout out to Jam, Just a Menace. R.I.P. Slim Tim. Shout out to Shaka. Shout out to Mandel. Shout out to Val. I can keep going. So we can be clear. Let me read some more of these comments real quick. So that never made sense to me. You knew you were warned, allegedly. They were warned before they went out there that if they go out there, they're gonna be gunning for Biggie and Puff. And for everybody that don't know, the main dude they wanted to take out was Puff, not Biggie. I don't know if we ever gonna have that conversation. We have to actually get pastor who actually killed Biggie in order to be able to have that conversation. But the main nigga they allegedly wanted was Puff, not Biggie. So who isn't to say Puff knew this, took Biggie out there, and knew that if they got Biggie, he wouldn't have to worry about them coming after him no more. Whole nother conversation. This is what I mean by when you know niggas that actually, like when you know niggas that you was talking about with this shit before any of this shit actually happened, you be privy to information that niggas don't even know. So that's why a lot of times you be seeing me having a conversation with somebody about something and they be like, nah, Frost, you wrong. And then later on you find out I'm right. Yeah, I just had information that you didn't have. No disrespect. Not even mad at you. As long as we can have a civil conversation. Once the conversation ain't civil no more, then I'm not dealing with you. But as long as we can have a civil conversation, I'm not even mad at you because I know that I have information that you might not have. I know it. And I can't always say the information. Anyway, Tada says, Puff has a song with Black Rob talking about putting $1 million bag on a ninja head. Yeah, Puff was doing that. Remember the $1 million that allegedly went on the head of Tupac, allegedly, right? Just so we could be clear. Nervin Number says, I'm surprised nobody ever put hands on Puffy for the foul things we did. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors. A lot of these niggas get beat up and we just don't know about it. Just so we could be clear. A lot of these niggas get beat up and we just don't know about it. A lot of these niggas. And I'm not just talking about niggas, part of my language, but I'm not just even talking about people in the music industry. A lot of these entertainers get beat up all the time. Y'all just don't know about it. Actors, directors, all these dudes. A lot of them dudes get beat up all the time. You just don't know about it. They just had this dude punched in the eye in the public. Who was the dude that just got beat up? I don't know if that was a part of the humiliation or whatever, because you know they do whole types of different shit going on. But I don't know if that was a humiliation thing. But I think not John Lake was on, the other dude, incredible actor. What TV show was it? Boardwalk Empire. Y'all remember Boardwalk Empire? Oh, that show was really good. Like the first 2 seasons. I forget his name, but he just got punched in the face in real life walking down the street. So a lot of these dudes get beat up, and it's just part of, you know, what they involved in. You understand what I'm saying? Biggie should have never went to LA until everything calmed down. I agree with you, Nervin Numbers. Biggie didn't want to go. He just let that nigga talk him into it. I wouldn't have went. I dead ass wouldn't have went. Nah, not Terrence Howard. Nah. Terrence Howard is doing a lot right now, but I think Terrence Howard is doing a lot right now, right? And I don't necessarily think he's wrong with a lot of the things he's saying, by the way. I think he's disclosing a lot of shit. Not Terrence Howard, but the other nigga. What about the dude that faked like he got beat up by the 2 black guys? He said it was MAGA workers. Him getting punched in the face might be good work. It might be. We might hear that nigga get punched in the face and everybody start cheering. Yeah. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Not Terrence Howard, though. Protect Terrence Howard at the moment. Protect Terrence Howard at the moment. I'm not sure if he's doing God's work right now. Pay attention. The nigga and I want to say this real quick. Terrence Howard just disclosed that the way that we perceive math to be is incorrect. If he's right in the way that we perceive math to be incorrect, no, just stop for a second, Tada. If he's right and the way that we perceive math is incorrect, that means that there's a ton of people out there that know the correct way to use math, and they're using that against us. Just keep that in mind. What up, Dwayne? I'm not agreeing with him on nothing, by the way. Give me 1 second. Let me blow my nose. So that's just something to think about. If um if what Terrence Howard is actually saying is true and the way that we perceive math is incorrect, that's a big thing. And I don't think it's nothing to you notice I haven't made any jokes about that because if the way that we perceive math is incorrect, that's a big deal. And this nigga is doing mathematical computations and explaining mathematical principles on a three-dimensional plane that people are saying is correct and that other people can't even understand. And there's something that just keep in mind. They still can't figure out how the pyramids was built. Keep that in mind. How can a civilization that was thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, be more advanced than the civilization that we have right now? The only way that could be explained is mathematics. So I'm not on neither one. I'm not saying either one of these Eddie Griffin or this Terrence Howard was right about anything. What I'm saying is Terrence Howard was explaining something on the principle of three-dimensional, fourth dimensional plane or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? So he was talking about another level of math. So maybe the level and degree of math that we learn in school works on the plane of existence that we're currently aware of. But we keep hearing that there's a plane of existence that we're not aware of that exists, right? So I'm just saying. I'm not saying I agree with any of this shit. I'm just saying. Hold on, I forgot to turn on my other light. Give me 1 minute. So I'm not agreeing with any of this stuff. I'm just saying I've seen too much go on in the world and heard too many times about how there have been new, I don't know how to say it, research that has been, new. I just don't think it's something that I'm just gonna poo-poo. That's all I'm saying. I just don't think it's something I'm just gonna like throw away and be like, this could not, there's no ways that this could be correct. I'm not that smart. Right? I'm not that intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, only thing we know about any of this stuff is what we've been taught in school. And nowadays, anybody ever noticed that nerds don't exist anymore? Like, there's no more nerdy kids. Like, I remember growing up and there being a shitload of nerdy kids, and then there also being like a shitload of really smart kids that were not nerds. It doesn't even exist anymore. Like, nowadays, we just have a ton of kids that aren't nerds. Our other kids are barely smart. Like, nobody's not trying to shit on kids, but where's all the little nerds at? Where are all the young nerds? They aren't even know. I remember going to school and it was just young nerds, fam. Like, it doesn't even exist anymore. Where they at? But they want to teach about all this other shit in our schools that don't have nothing to do with education in any regard. I'm just saying. let's get back to what we're talking about. But I'll speak on this for 2 more seconds. Brandon Washington said the pyramids give off cosmic energy. They were built so well on ley lines connecting mega structures all over the world. It's some weird shit, fam. How can you do any of that without some kind of advanced mathematics that me and you do not understand nor know? Nerve and Number says the nerds are running the world. No. I mean, there's no more young nerds. Like older nerds, yes. Nerds in their 30s, 40s, absolutely. Nerds in their 20s, absolutely. But I don't come across any more nerds just walking around in the middle of the street. That's like in elementary school, in junior high school, in high school. Like, where are all these nerds? It seems like all of the nerds now come from other countries. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Nerds are absolutely running the world right now, though. That's a fact. But not kinda, not really, because what you have to understand is a lot of these dudes that we are calling nerds, they're literally just stealing ideas and technologies from other niggas and then just incorporating them into whatever, because they rich and other niggas trying to get rich. They're just stealing their ideas. That's really all they're doing. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. Fam, he said, bring Steve Urkel back. But fam, like, there's no more nerdy kids. Like, I remember being in school and there was a shitload of nerdy kids. There's like no more nerdy kids. Nervin Number says, do you think Puffy already said allegedly? Did y'all hear about the Rolling Stones article? So let's talk about Rolling Stones for a moment. A couple of things Rolling Stones said. First, after Biggie passed away, Rolling Stones wanted to do an article on Biggie and whatever, what was going on with them. Puffy said he's dead. Put me on the cover. Rolling Stones wanted to put Biggie on the cover. Puffy said he's dead. Put me on the cover. He said, I got an album coming out. Promote my album. Did you hear about the new dude? I'm going to back up. Hold on. Let's stay on this for 2 seconds and then we'll move to the next Puffy Diddy thing. So I want to be clear about this. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. Biggie passes away. Rolling Stones contacts Bad Boy. They say that we want to do a piece on Biggie and he's going to get the cover. Now when I hear Missing You, and this is why the song, it hasn't felt the same to me for years. But now when I hear Missing You, that shit doesn't sound like he's mocking Biggie. I want you to go listen to it again with this information that you have on who Puffy is now, Diddy is now. That doesn't sound like he mocking him. Your man Black Rob had an alcohol problem. Black Rob ended up getting, I believe, some kind of kidney or liver disease. That's what led to his demise. Now that you're hearing about how Biggie used to spike people's drinks, what do you think was going on with Black Rob? So, shout out to Black Rob, Bronx nigga, basically. I don't know if he a Bronx nigga or a Harlem nigga, but we consider him a Bronx nigga. Nigga used to hang out there around where I grew up at. One of the places I grew up at, West Burnside. If you don't know about West Burnside, it's not for the weak of heart. And this is what I mean by West Burnside is not for the weak of heart if you don't know where West Burnside is. He used to hang out over there between Lauren Place and Hennessy in that area. If you know where Hennessy Place is, Lauren Place is, he used to hang out over there. Like I could literally call out blocks a lot of these niggas used to hang out on. That's what I'm trying to explain. Y'all understand how when I be talking about these niggas, I be telling you the blocks they used to be on? If y'all haven't realized that I do that all the time. Anyway, so he used to hang out over there around Lauren Place, Hennessy Place, over there. Just so we could be clear. Bronx nigga. He looked like a Bronx nigga, talked like a Bronx nigga. Bronx nigga. He made whoa for anybody that's wondering who Black Rob was. He ends up passing away. I forget if it was liver or kidneys or whatever, but basically, liver and the kidneys do similar things, clean out our system. He had a drinking problem, allegedly. Now that you're hearing about how Puffy Diddy was spiking all of these alcoholic beverages, how do you feel about that? Real talk. How do you feel about it? Now that you hear about these dudes, Biggie, Puffy, Diddy, whatever you want to call them, was spiking all of these drinks, women's drinks, niggas' drinks, spiking all of these drinks. How do you feel about the fact that Black Rob passed away because of a health issue that had to deal with his ability to clean his blood? Died in a hospital alone on social media asking for help. Stop letting people pretend to be your friend. Stop letting people pretend to be supportive of you. They either supportive or they not. If they not, that's fine. But we're not going to let you pretend. In any regard. I'm gonna get off that. I'm thinking about that for a reason. Let's look at the voting real quick. I forgot to have it up here. We got 30 incidentally about the room. It says, do you think Diddy had anything to do with the death of Biggie Smalls? 70%, 44 votes in, 70% of y'all said yes, 23% said no, 7% said just want to see the results. I love the fact that we have so few just want to see the results and so many people that actually want to actually participate in this particular. Not people don't always want to participate. They be like, just want to see the results. So I love the fact that we got so many people that wanted to actually participate today. Shout out to you guys. I want to talk about another Diddy thing, but we can move on to Trump for a moment, and then we'll come back to Diddy because we've been talking about Trump. Pardon me, we've been talking about Diddy for almost an hour now. So we'll come back to Diddy. I want to say a couple of things about this Trump situation. Brandon Washington says, can Trump still win? It's supposed to say win the election if the states won't let him participate. There is nothing that says that an individual who is been convicted of a crime that I know of can't run for the presidency. I don't believe there's anything that says that. And also, just so we could be clear, I think him just being on trial won him so many more supporters because, you know, a lot of people, especially people that are a part of our demographic, knows how it feels to be unfairly targeted, especially by the police. And when you look at what's going on with Trump, that's what it looks like. It looks like the government has decided to target him and get him by any means necessary. And then if you listen to the Democratic elected officials speak, for the most part, they're literally saying that out of their own mouths that, you know, they're going to do everything that they can in their power to put Trump in jail. Not they're going to do everything in their power to make sure someone that committed a crime is found, is removed from the streets. They're just trying to figure out what crime they can convict him of or accuse him of. And what the latest situation that just happened with the judge makes it even more egregious. So what happened with the judge is the judge literally said to the individuals who have the jury, basically, and this is why even if he's found guilty, he's gonna win it in appeal. It's just he's gonna win it in appeal. The Democrats know he's gonna win it in appeal, even if he's found guilty. They just want to be able to say he's guilty. They just want to be able to give something to their party, their constituents, their voters, their constituents, their voters. They want to get a win for their voters, the people that they don't care if he's innocent. But us as Black people who have been living in this country for all of these years, who knows how it is to be unfairly targeted, you have to just have cognizant dissonance to not be able to see or acknowledge what is going on with Trump. So the judge says after he's done a whole bunch of other weirdo shit, just so we can be clear. But the judge says, you know, to find somebody guilty, we all know that a jury has to unanimously agree. The judge says that they don't have to unanimously agree. If you got a couple that agree to that charge and a couple that agree to that charge and a couple that agree to another charge, even though they don't all agree on the same charge, then yeah, that's enough. So no, if that happens, without a shadow of a doubt, there is no way in the world Trump is not going to win on appeal. Unless they are able to do more chicanery behind the scenes. And I expect for this judge, independent of if he gets found guilty or not, to not be a judge much longer. Just so we could be clear. And I think that's the main reason why he took this particular approach, because he's already knows that he's going to be removed. He's out of here. Brandon Washington said Biden was caught on a hot mic. Yeah, meaning that the mic was still on after a press release. And he said to everyone in the back room, I don't know what's going on. Just blame it all on Trump. Then the mic cut off. Sounds exactly like something that they already do. They blame everything on Trump, even though Trump don't be having anything to do with certain things. FBI says Diddy did away with Big once he had all Big's publishing likeness all wrapped up in his favor. Mrs. Wallace even still has to depend on Diddy to do the right thing, like Spike Lee. Yeah. I'll let y'all see what FBI said in regards to the Diddy conversation. Yeah. And for the people that's saying Biggie wasn't trying, Biggie already had lawyers, and him and Diddy were fighting in court. And he was trying to get back his likeness and all of those type of things. He was trying to get him back from Diddy. So yeah, their whole thing is just to blame everything on Trump. And that's why whenever I see, especially us black people, just going for the Democratic Party because you are black, I'm sorry, that's just slavery, fam. Like, I'm okay. So Biden keeps talking about how they're not going to raise taxes on the poor. What do you think inflation is? Like, what do you think inflation is? You don't think inflation is a tax on the poor? Inflation is a tax on the poor, fam. Inflation is a tax on the poor. So that's what. So this is what I mean by I love having conversations about politics when we're being fair. But if we're just gonna argue and nobody's gonna listen to each other's points, then it's a waste of time. And since I'm an individual that's gonna listen to your point, when you don't listen to my point at all and you just keep arguing, I don't want to talk to you. Because your point that you just stated, I listened to it and I took it into consideration. The fact that if I say something and you're not taking it into consideration and you're not listening to it and you're just waiting for your opportunity to speak, then we're not having a conversation. We're talking at one another. I don't like being talked at. Nervin Number says, did you see Robert De Niro's speech next to the courthouse? Let me show y'all something. I talked about this the other day. Let me show y'all something. This is the problem with Democrats. Let me show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. This is the problem with Democrats.
I love the city.
So I went into one of the posts where, as we can see, Robert De Niro is talking whatever he's talking, right? So I put two different things up there. I put, use this as a button that Robert De Niro should be ignored. And I put, you stand with Robert De Niro. Now I'm going to screenshot both of these so I can move these as close as possible so you can see what went on. I hate when that happens. Some stupid shit just happened. Hold on. I just want to show y'all. This is the problem with Democrats. This is the problem with Democrats. The voters. So I put, this is a button that Robert De Niro should be ignored, right? 2 days ago, right? That's how many people said, yeah, he should be ignored. As you can see, I didn't even vote on it myself. Look at the comments. 164 comments. Almost all of the comments are negative. I just want you to understand that. So I put, you stand with Robert De Niro, right? 2 days ago, same time. One fucking like. So these Democrat niggas rather come hate on this comment than go support the other one. You want to know why? That's what niggas do when they know they wrong. When they know they wrong, instead of supporting the thing that they're allegedly going for, they hate on the thing that runs contrary to the thing that they're supposed to be supporting. So instead of these mofos going to the freaking button that says, you stand with Robert De Niro. I got more, by the way, just so we could get a better understanding of just the insanity involved in this shit. And it's more than 160 something comments, by the way. So I'm literally writing that there is a button that you can go vote in support. I put two buttons. Look, It's just people just going crazy. Your IQ is low. You should shut up. But they don't hit like on the other button. Trump was found liable for rape, which he wasn't. That's not even true. But they won't hit like on the button that's supposed to be you stand with De Niro. That damn hat on your head should have been ignored. But they won't hit like on the button like your dad and your mom. So these are Democrats, fam. These are Democrats. I just got tired of writing. There's a button. Look, put a raccoon. It's 2 fucking buttons. I didn't hit like on none of the buttons. I just made 2 buttons. I wanted to know who supported who. Oh my God, why does so many people like this? But these same mofos refuse to go to the button that was supporting the opposite of this. Yeah, you can't script this shit, fam. Put in raccoons. You can't script this shit, fam. You just cannot script this shit. This is the problem with our people. Niggas rather spend more time putting hate out into the world than trying to do anything positive. You should be ignored button. Nobody even hit that button. All these people here agree with them, but nobody even hit that button. Fam, I'm sorry about this. I just need to just show y'all this real quick. I wrote something a ton of times. I just got tired of writing it. It won't pop up. This shit is crazy. Anyway, I can't find it. It's just drowned out by all this other stuff. But the dope part is nobody's liking the buttons that people are talking crazy to me about. This shit is like, what the fuck is wrong with people, fam? So I forgot why I wanted to show y'all that. Do you think that, did you see the Trump? Robert De Niro, just so we could be clear, is a whole actor that spent a majority of his career playing gangsters on the movies in the cinema. Why in the hell would y'all be taking advice from a nigga that put out all of that negative ass energy into the world? How many roles can you find where Robert De Niro was being a savior? Almost every role Robert De Niro played that I can think of either had him as a complete idiot or had him as a gangster. Hold on. He was an idiot, even though he was a cop. Right? Al Pacino was the bad guy in that movie. Right? But he was the cop that ignored his wife. Shout out to Tyson Garcia. He was the cop that ignored his wife, right? He overacted like hell in that movie, right? Or was that Al Pacino? No, he was the bad guy in Heat. And he was the bad guy. That was Al Pacino overacting. So, yeah, tell me where Robert De Niro. So, nah, I'm not on time with him. I'm on 0 time with Robert De Niro. 0 time. I don't know what to tell you. Just 0 time. 0 time. 0 time with Robert De Niro. 0 time. I'm gonna read some of FBI's comments real quick. Oh, he talking about Diddy. I'm gonna come back to your comments. Let's talk about Robert De Niro shit real quick. What do y'all think about the Robert De Niro situation? Put it down there. I'm gonna come back to your comments, FBI. Don't worry about it. So, to me, Robert De Niro, complete idiot. I haven't wanted to watch a Robert De Niro acting role since about the 90s. So he's not one of those dudes that I want to watch him acting any further. But I will say he has been incredible as an actor. And I think that he was not incredible when he was out there reading that shit for Trump. So I wouldn't be against Trump. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had no choice. Which I got to understand is a lot of these dudes that's coming out being against Trump, they don't have no choice. Those people with them aren't bodyguards. Them is the niggas that if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're going to wind up dead niggas. You do know this, right? A lot of those dudes that be with these actors, that be walking around with these dudes, that be their security, those don't really be security. That be the nigga that's going to make sure you do what we tell you to do, or you're going to come up missing. That's who they be. All right? So Robert De Niro did a terrible job. And we know he's an incredible actor. And he did a terrible job out there. Okay? It was terrible. So I don't know if it's because he was scared because of the crowd that was out there. I don't know if it's because he was nervous because he's probably never got received in a negative light before. These are all possibilities. When the last time you seen Robert De Niro being received in a negative light? I can't think of one. So I don't know if it's because he's never been received in a negative light. I don't know if it's because he was nervous because, you know, the crowd was heckling him. I don't know if it's because he has some dude standing behind him that might have ended his life. He might, if he didn't do the right thing. He was the dude that probably had some dudes with him that was like, yeah, we serious. I don't know. But I will say he did a terrible acting job. A terrible acting job. It was horrendous. Now, also, he was on that list of the Epstein Island list, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they like, yo, if you don't go out there and do this the way that we want you to do it, guess what's gonna happen? Your name is gonna pop up in something. And none of these niggas want that. FBI says this is not the real FBI, by the way. Hey, FBI, is this the FBI that used to be here back in the day? Who used to be a pretty big supporter of the page. De Niro says another De Niro, another over the hill, been rich for so long, definitely out of touch with what we, the everyday man, citizen, need at the moment. Agreed. Either he read or say what they had typed out, or he next after Diddy. Exactly. And that's the way I took it. FBI also says, I remember Trump was cool with Doc Gooden, Darryl Strawberry, Mike Tyson. Biden even stays away from Sicilians because they're too dark for his likings. Trump, I heard the mob niggas talking about how much they respect Trump and the way that he do business. I heard the mob niggas talking about how, and it's somewhere on the internet, so it's findable. I heard the mob niggas talking about how they tried to put pressure on Trump and they couldn't. The nigga wouldn't fold. I heard the mob niggas talking about this, man. Just so we could be clear. Remember, he's a real estate developer in New York City. That's who you deal with. I heard Trump giving a speech, and this is back from the 80s, talking about how he was doing real estate developing and how he had it so that they had to hire a certain number of Black and Hispanic people in order for him to be able to give them the fucking deal. While at the same time saying that New York City has the best construction workers on the planet. So this is back way before he was even in politics. So that's what I mean by when these people keep trying to tell me that Trump is racist. I'm like, I don't know, fam. I was there. I hear what you're saying, but I was there. Like, I was there. And that's another reason why a lot of these individuals that's like in their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s talking about how Trump is a racist, you were there also. Like, you were there. If somebody's in their 20s and their teens, you might not know no better. But the people that's in their 30s, they might not know no better. But the people that was in their 40s, 50s, 60s, y'all were there. Y'all saw Trump on the back page every time Black person, celebrity got in trouble and they came to New York in front, and Trump will be with them on the front page, hugged up like this. Daily News, New York Post, while people and many times was absolutely roasting him and killing him for doing that, and he still did it. Y'all was there. So these other individuals, I get it. Y'all wasn't there. Y'all saying whatever y'all saying. But for the people who were there, y'all was there. Pardon me. A lot of us are mad because of the Central Park 5. I get it. I 100% get it. I was pissed at Trump for years because of the Central Park 5. Don't get this confused. But look what the FBI put. That coming from the man who fought to get the 94 crime bill passed, and there's video of Biden saying that he doesn't want his kids in school with jungle people. And this is facts. There's multiple videos of Biden talking about the 94 crime bill, 94, 95 crime bill being important because we got to put, certain demographics away. They're savages. There's multiple videos of that. There's multiple videos of him being in Congress, testifying on the floor in Congress, talking about that school, that Black people and white people should stay separated. There's multiple videos of this. Nerve and Number says, why do they jack? Why do they always mention the Central Park Five? Because that's the only thing that they can literally point out to say that he's racist. When in reality, he had a relationship with that girl's family. He knew them. This wasn't just about some random white girl getting attacked and Trump saying, screw all blacks. This was a situation where there was somebody that he knew, their family. He partied, vacationed, whatever the hell with their family. He knew their family. So he had a emotional connection to the situation, which obviously we all know when emotion gets involved in shit, sometimes you're not rational and sometimes you say and do the stupidest shit in the world. We all know this. Nerve and Number said they also said he didn't want blacks in his buildings. That's not true. What happened was this. There was a situation that was going on in the 1980s where because our economy was doing so bad and because our neighborhoods, black people specifically, was pushed out of the working class. This is the part they leave out. So while in the 70s, money was a little bit more moving, when the 80s came, it was harder for black people to make money. So what had happened was there was situations where there were people that was in his building that he wanted removed from his building. But it wasn't just Trump. It was a lot of people who were, owned buildings. It wasn't just Trump. They just made Trump the face of the problem. When in reality, what had happened was there was a big, large money transfer during the 80s from the middle class to the elite. This is the part they leave out. What the hell you think is going on right now? There was a big money transfer in the 1980s, the late 70s, through the 1980s, up until probably about 88, 87. There was a big money transfer from the middle class to the elite. And whenever there's a money transfer like that, cities like New York City suffer. Big metropolises suffer. You understand? So, to my understanding and to my knowledge, that's basically what happened. But there were a ton of real estate developers, a ton of landlords that were in the same exact situation as he was in. But what had happened is that's why we have certain laws in New York City now to protect people, and it's to protect people going through these type of situations, because when these big money transfers happen, they don't want their streets to end up like Philly, where you got a ton of people that's just in the streets. You understand? In any regard. So that's what was going on with that. So those are the only two incidents where they could say something about Trump. But once again, if you weren't there, you don't know. Like, if you weren't there, you don't know. Like right now, we're going through an extremely big money transfer right now because of our reigning presidential party, right? What do you think it happens when inflation jumps up the way that it does? When everything becomes more expensive, who do you think benefits? Yes, Trump played for Jesse Jackson's campaign. This is true. But when everything become more expensive, who you think benefits? And right now, everything is becoming more expensive because of our president and because of his policies. Who do you think benefits? The elite, the top 1%. Why? Because they own everything. Now, when Trump was in office, everything was less expensive. Who do you think benefited? The working class, middle America. And then, not just to help middle America out, he also gave out grants and he also gave out loans. Loans help middle America, right? The middle class, and all of these grants help the poor. So Trump gave out how much grants, how much loans that you didn't even have to pay back. Those help out the poor and the middle class. Things were less expensive. That helps out the poor and the middle class. See, people don't understand economics. They only understand emotional shit. So these niggas is just being emotional, and then that's that's how they voting. They voting because of however they're feeling emotionally at that moment. These are the same people, mind you, that was talking about go get the jab. All of these individuals that's out here supporting Biden are the same people that was saying everybody go get the jab, and if you don't get the jab, you're helping to spread C-19. Now that they've come proven to be incorrect about that, now they're doubling down on Trump. Now, when they're going to be found out to be incorrect about that, they're going to double down on whatever the other thing is that's going to help benefit our society. These people are always going to double down on anything that's going to help people. You understand? And I'm talking about your neighbors. They're going to double down on everything that's helping society, that's going to hurt us as people, because they were wrong about that over there. So they're going to double down on everything else that hurts us also. And that's just the way it is. And that's just the way some people are. They don't want for things to get better. They just want to be right. And instead of doing the thing that's right, they want to force the thing that they think and the thing that they want to be the right thing. So they'll yell and scream about something until as many people believe them as possible and try to force what's wrong to be right. What does it say that Satan does? FBI says Trump always been himself, not taking shit from nobody, and always too loud with his opinions, which comes back to bite him, i.e. Central Park 5. Agreed. I.e. Bottom line, when Trump was in office, money was making its way to the hood, middle class, and even some people I know opened up small businesses during Trump's 4 years. Since Biden, feels like Reagan's back. And what did I say? What did I just say? During the 80s, the late 70s through to about 87, 88, that probably was one of the biggest money transfers of middle class losing out and becoming the poor, and that money then being going to the elite. That's probably a real big money transfer. And that was during the Reagan era. That's a fact. Fam, we don't just be talking over here. Reagan, i.e. crack era. That's a fact. Fam, we don't just be talking over here. You understand what I'm saying? We just don't be just talking. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes people just be talking because they don't know nothing. And so the only thing they could do is ridicule something that they hear somebody else saying, because they don't actually know anything themselves. So that's why another reason why I say y'all got to be mindful of the people that you're paying attention to. A lot of these niggas don't know nothing. All they know how to do is they hear somebody else say something, so they want to make jokes about it and ridicule it. They don't really know anything. They don't really know anything. All they know how to do is go ridicule something, make jokes about something, pretend something is wrong, laugh at shit. They don't really know anything. You understand what I'm saying? And all due respect. Fuck the respect. Screw the respect. They don't really know anything. You understand what I'm saying? All they know how to do is make jokes about something, say somebody else don't know what they talking about. They don't really have no understanding about nothing. They don't know nothing. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know nothing. Just so we could be clear. That's why you guys stop paying attention to people who all they want to do is ridicule another person. Stop paying attention to them. They don't know nothing. I literally have some weirdo in my neighborhood, right? The nigga done been living here for about 3 years. I've only seen him one time in the last a year and a half. He gets on social media all day, every day, talking shit about me. But when I see him in person, call me a pussy and everything else. But when I see him in person, he think it's up to me to attack him. No, nigga, you called me a pussy. You should be showing me how I'm a pussy. I shouldn't be attacking you. I'm a pussy, right? See a pussy, slap a pussy. Isn't that the way it's supposed to go? Right? See a pussy, slap a pussy, right? So you call me a pussy, but when I see you in real life, you run into the supermarket for help. You call your family on the phone, come save you. You wait until I walk away and go about my business, and then you go to my home where you know I'm not at because you know I've done walked in the complete opposite direction and stand in front of my house yelling and screaming for me to come outside and fight. Nigga, you know I'm not there. You saw me walk in the opposite direction. You saw it. So you got to understand these niggas is all suckers. That whole behavior is sucker behavior. You understand what I'm saying? A nigga trying to get you caught up. Because this is the new thing. Niggas talk crazy to you. And then when you confront them and you put hands on them, they going to call the police. So then I'm going to be coming home and I'm going to be here with the fucking police here. And the police are going to be like, yeah, you attacked this guy. It's going to be on camera. He's on live. Everybody's going to see me whooping his ass. And now I'm in jail. He win. And you know what everybody is going to say to me while I'm locked up? Every last nigga in the cell is going to say, oh, so, but he a sucker though. Why did you put hands on him? You knew he was a sucker. You knew he was pussy because he calling you out on social media. Then when he see you, he run. You knew he was a pussy. That's what every last nigga in the damn jail is going to say. Every last one. You should have had somebody else step to him. You know he was trying to line you up. That nigga a whole sucker. He ain't... So fam. So that's what we living in an era where niggas know that they're wrong. They know they wrong. They don't care about being wrong. You understand? They just care about attacking something that's beautiful. They care on trying to tear down something that they can't have. You understand? That's it. They don't care about being wrong. FBI says a lot of people I know are back in the game right now. Instead of hard, they pushing everything. Soft, dope, pills. It's in the streets in New York. Also, great point you just made. I don't know if you meant to make this on purpose. But, and I'm going to say this. When Trump was in office, the niggas, I seen niggas using a lot of weed. And yeah, fentanyl hit the street. It is what it is. But a lot of those other drugs, niggas wasn't selling it like that no more. Because everybody had money. So that means that the niggas that was weed smokers was out there really smoking weed. So you can get a bag off of selling weed. You didn't have to really be pushing all that other shit as hard. I know niggas was doing a whole bunch of shit. I'm not saying niggas wasn't selling other shit. I'm not saying that at all. But niggas was really pushing, like when that Trump money came, a lot of niggas that was out here doing, selling drugs, they moved on to doing other shit that might have been legal. A lot of them niggas. A lot of niggas moved on to doing legal shit. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but no, I noticed that. Like, no, I noticed that. A lot of niggas went on to do legal shit. And now that, Trump isn't in office no more, and not only is Trump not in office, but Biden went in there and removed a lot of the shit that Trump was doing. Now a lot of niggas has to go back to doing shit that's risking their freedom. And I want to be clear on this. That's why I think a lot of people are going to vote for Trump in the hood. That's why I think a lot of niggas in the hood is going to vote for Trump. There's going to be people who have never voted before, fam, that are going to go vote for Trump, knowing that they want to go get back their funding so they can get away from doing this illegal shit and get back to doing legal shit and try to build their shit up. There's niggas that missed out on the opportunity that's going to go and vote Trump because they want to get the opportunity to go push that legal shit and get away from risking their freedom. Not everybody want to risk their freedom, fam. Not everybody want to be a drug dealer. You understand? Not everybody want to be doing something illegal. Niggas just want to live a certain lifestyle. If you give them that opportunity to live a certain lifestyle with them not risking their freedom, they'll take it. Nervin Nemesis Jack, and in my opinion, what president had the best economy? Trump's situation would have been a lot better, and Trump would be on the top of the list, but we had to go through COVID. But I'm not gonna lie, the 90s was sweet. You were able to go to the store and get a large ass in New York, in the Bronx at least, a large ass slice of pizza for $1.50. Not them little bullshit ass pizzas that they sell now for 99 cents. You was able to go, and there's this one spot they used to have on 167th and between Sheridan and Grant Avenue, where they used to sell a pizza that was a slice of pizza that was damn near the size of like half of what these niggas call pies nowadays for $1. So you was able to go to the chicken spot and get a burger with fries and a drink for $5. A big ass burger with a nice serving of fries and a canned soda for $5. Nowadays, that same thing is going to cost you damn near $10. This is the 90s. You could get a whole meal that's going to make you full if you were a regular nigga for $5. Niggas used to go to the chicken spot and buy a center breast for $1. All the hustlers know what I'm talking about. It was just different. And we're not even going to bring up the dollar menu yet. So as far as how far your money can go through the time that I've been alive, how far your money could go in addition with the availability of funds, I don't think you're going to beat the 90s. Shit was cheaper to purchase. Some things was cheaper in the 90s than they were in the 80s. And the availability of funds was more. And obviously, I'm just talking about New York, mostly the Bronx. You was able to go to the store and get a big ass hero sandwich. The same hero sandwiches that you go to the store now and spend about $7 for, $7, $8. You was able to go get these same exact sandwiches for like $2.50 from the fucking corner store bodega. Same sandwiches that right now cost about $7.50, $8. You was able to go to the corner store bodega and get for like $2.50. So not only were the prices not as high, but the availability of funds was there. There was less of an availability of funds in the 80s, while the prices were complimentary. What else y'all want to talk about? I do not want to hold y'all forever. Anything else y'all want to discuss? If you are enjoying the show at all, you could always pull up to the Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. Is there anything else y'all want to discuss? And did I forget to talk about anything? And shout out to all of our new subscribers. Like, we picked up damn near 2,000 some new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. They were, I'm not going to say cheap, they were reasonable. Like now, apartments aren't really reasonable, but they were definitely reasonable. Definitely, hands down. They were reasonable. Now look at these people. They tried to steal my Instagram content. Look at these people. So check this out. I'm gonna show you something real quick. So they tried to steal my Instagram thing, right? They tried to steal my login information, right? So I go. They're like, "Yo, could you support whatever they page is?" I'm like, "Explain what it would entail." I was like, "I'm not sure. I want to know what it is." I'm saying yes to. I want to know what I'm saying yes to. So they write, "It's just my clothing platform, which I'll be launching next week. I was wondering if I could add you to the platform to be a member. You don't necessarily need to buy anything. You can just you don't necessarily need to buy anything. You could just take a look at the designs and tell me what you think about it. And if anything, you can make inquiries. That's it." I said, "All right, cool. Add me." Right? Boom. Hold on. I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I want to help out. Like, I don't know how I can help, but whatever, right? So I wrote, cool, add me. I know y'all can't see that well. Hold on, let me dim this. So maybe that'll help. So I'm like, okay, cool. That's gonna help a little. So I'm like, cool, add me, right? Boom, right? So then they wrote, please send me your number so I can keep you updated. Right? I don't send my number out. They asked for my phone number. I was like, so I said, I do not give it. I don't give out my number. I wrote it by accident because I'd be swiping. I don't give out my number. I will be available here. You could just come here and, whatever the fuck. Right? And then I gave a compliment, said you're a super cutie, whatever, right? So then they send me a link. Right? Now check this out when I go to the link. And then the reason why I'm telling you this is because if anyone ever sends you a link at all on Instagram or any other platform, and you hit the button and the link opens up and it tells you to log on, never log on. They're trying to steal your contact information. Now look, the shit won't even open no more. So they sent me a link that was for you Instagram. That was for see if it opened this time. So they sent me a link that was supposed to be for Facebook, but I had to log on. Never log on, fam. Never. Now the link don't work because they was trying to cheat me. So anyway, I'm going to tell y'all who these people are. So this is who it was, just so we can be clear. Whoever this is, they tried to steal my contact information. Niggas is weird, fam. Never hit the damn button. Whatever you do, never hit the button. Never hit the button. Never trust that shit. Never hit the button. Never trust that shit. It's always something else going on. Never trust that shit. Never hit the button. Just thought I'd share that with you because that's how people be getting they shit stolen. They go hit the button because they like, oh shit, I gotta log on. Never log on, fam. My Instagram is already, my Facebook is already logged on. As soon as I hit any link, I should automatically go straight into my Facebook. Boom. And then on top of that, I have my Facebook set up so I gotta use my jump off. I gotta use my fingerprint or my face scan. So I never put my password into nothing. So I thought I'd share that. Anyway, we done? Are we done? I'm going to let y'all go.
Yesterday.
So I can't move.
In response to
Can you give us some snacks?
insanity speech yesterday, how this man said that Donald Trump and us are ruining democracy. Meanwhile, everything that's happening in that courtroom is exactly what he said yesterday, but for the other side. This is a travesty. This is unconstitutional. This is disgusting. This is ruining democracy. Yes, yes. So in response to Mr. De Niro, I give you my latest masterpiece called Crybaby. Go Citizen Scott. Go Citizen Scott.
Oh, hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Jesus.
Boycott it. It's like a film festival.
Boycott Rebecca Film Festival.
Robert De Niro,
He's not one shot. This is his art. That's his art. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but he's blocking 50 photographers.
This is him. The only reason why
It's not his art. It's his.
they're not going to say he was a great actor.
He's not one. Oh, hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Jesus.
So everybody was trying to get a picture. The dude that had came close to it and got a real close picture, all the other people were yelling at him, "Get the fuck out of the way!" I'm trying to tell you, these people are on the wrong side of history. FBI said the game is different now. Seems like anybody born after the 90s different people snitching over jealousy. Now it's so hard for them to pick out. Fam, that's exactly what's going on to me. Like these new niggas, I'm sorry. Just so we can be clear, you cannot say that another nigga is pussy if you not ready to walk up to that nigga when you see him and confront that nigga. So if you call a nigga pussy and then that nigga, you see that nigga and that nigga like, who pussy? Could somebody just put in the chat what you're supposed to do? Could somebody just put that in the chat? Right? I'm going to put all of the comments up here just so we can be clear. If a nigga call you pussy, pardon me, if you call a nigga pussy, then you see the nigga out in the street and that nigga say, who pussy? What are you supposed to do next? Put it in the chat. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to give y'all a quick commercial break. I want to know what you're supposed to do next. You being the person that called another nigga pussy. When that nigga see you and say, who pussy? What are you supposed to do? Be right back. I'm going to let y'all see some basketball. If you see a pussy, you're supposed to slap a pussy. Right? We live in a whole different age where these niggas is talking crazy about a nigga and then saying, put your hands on me. That's some sucker shit if I've ever heard it. You gonna talk crazy about a nigga and then you gonna tell a nigga to put his hands on you. So you just a whole victim. You just a tough victim. So you just a tough victim. That's what you are. You're just a tough victim. You're just gonna be out there being a victim. You're just a whole tough victim. Niggas is weird, fam. I promise you, if I don't put hands on that nigga, the police would have been at my door. I promise you. I promise you. I would have went and put hands on that nigga, the police would have been at my door. I promise you.
I said I'm filming for Scott, so I can't move.
Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. Everybody have a blessed day. I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody, just have a blessed day, fam. You gotta avoid the suckers. Try your best to avoid the suckers. Don't fall into the traps. You understand what I'm saying? One of the main things that these suckers is doing out here nowadays is they want to get you caught up. So what they're doing is they're trying to create a situation with you. And if you do anything to them, they're then gonna go tell the police that you attacked them. I promise you. And they're gonna act like they weren't doing anything. And they're gonna have a million reasons why you are arguing with them. You're not arguing with these niggas. These niggas is arguing with you in their brain. These niggas is that nigga Justin or whatever, Angel, whatever the fuck his name is. That nigga has a mental health disorder. He's arguing with me in his brain. You understand what I'm saying? In his brain, he's arguing with me. But when he see me in public, he runs. So I don't know what to tell you. He has a mental health disorder. The shit is serious. You understand? It's serious, serious. The nigga comes to my home when I'm not here, stands out in front of my house, and he knows I'm not here, by the way, and yells and screams for me to come outside and fight him. This is a mental health disorder. There's nothing I can do about this shit other than alert the authorities. Because this is, if I confront the nigga, he gonna be all the victims in the world. The nigga biceps is like this. His biceps. Look at my finger. His biceps is like this. You know, the part of your arm up here, his biceps are like this. The nigga about this tall. There's no way in the world that me getting into a physical conflict with him isn't going to end bad with me as far as the police and the authorities are concerned. There's no way in the world. I already know, FBI. There's no way in the world. Copy? There's just no way. Yes, I already know that I'm a targeted individual. I just gotta hope that our community keeps being supportive the way that they have been supportive, and because that's the only way that I can fight back from being a targeted individual is by getting the support of the community. That's about it. That's the only way, and because it's absolutely insane at this point. So yes, this individual. I think I hit 5 threes in that video. It could have been 4. It could have been 4. I thought it was 5. But it could have been 4. Yeah, I know I'm a targeted individual. It is what it is. You understand? The only way I can, is with the help of the community. So shout out to everybody who's been supportive with the comments, with the likes, with the shares. Shout out to everybody who's been pulling up to the Cash App, the Super Chat, and the PayPal. Shout out to everybody who's just been saying good words about me and giving me words of encouragement. I appreciate all of y'all. But I'm a targeted individual, and it's probably going to be like that until the day that I die, because that's just what it is. But once again, thank you to everybody that is, out here being supportive. I got people that, generally pull up to the Cash App when I'm not online. You guys are the best. I promise you, you guys are the best. I can't even explain how beneficial that is when people are pulling up to the Cash App when I'm not online. Because I know that you don't want to be targeted yourself, and that's why I'm always like, I won't mention. Would y'all like to do a saloon tonight? Tonight's Thursday night. I don't have anything that I have to do particularly. If y'all would like to do a saloon tonight, hit me up in Instagram or whatever. I should have talked about it earlier in the show, so people have an opportunity to weigh in on it. But if y'all would like to do a saloon tonight, we could do a saloon tonight. I could use some support from the community. It just is. It is what it is. I can use some support from the community right now. If y'all would like to do a saloon tonight, I'll do a saloon tonight. Just hit me up. Let me know. I don't know if people want to do a saloon. I'm not 100% sure. With that being said, look, everybody, please go out there, find something worth doing. Let's read our word for the day real quick. John chapter 16, verse 13. How bet when he, the spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will shew you things to come. Once again, John chapter 16, verse 13. How bet when he, the spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you unto truth, for he shall not speak of himself, but of whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will shew you things to come. Amen. Appreciate everybody. FBI says yes, their goal is to make you homeless. I already know, fam. Once again, if you would like to support the platform, I would definitely appreciate you. Obviously, I'm talking about Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. If you would like to show any support. How did you get from being targeted? Is there a thing that I can? I don't know if there's a thing that I can do. Is there a way that you can prevent? Is there a way you could get on the other side of being targeted? Other than, I'm assuming they want me to kill this nigga. That's what I'm assuming that they trying to get me to do is kill somebody so they could put me in jail for the rest of my life. That's what I'm assuming. Is there any way to get on the other side of this without harming anybody, without hurting anybody, and without throwing away my freedom? Or is that just it? That's the only way out, is to throw away my freedom. I'm assuming you don't have no answer for this. I don't have. I asked you how to get on the other side of it. You haven't told me yet, so I'm assuming there's just no way to get on the other side of this. FBI said it's spiritual warfare, almost like the people stalking you are under a spell. I agree, because most of the stalking, it just doesn't even make sense. It's like people see, like it's not hard to see the things that's being said about me aren't true. Like it's not even hard to see. You understand what I'm saying? Like people, it's not hard to see that the people are lying on me. It's not hard to see. It's literally not hard to see. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, but no, I definitely agree with those points you just made. But I'm just gonna let you go. But it's not hard to see. That's why I keep trying to say I'm not in the war with flesh. I'm a war with powers and principalities. This is literally, I have some kind of thing going on with me that Satan hates. And so that's why I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with. In any regard, everybody just have a blessed day out there. Go find something worth doing and good thing to do in the world, and then do it in the name of God. Go find something good in the world to do, and then go do that thing in the name of God. Let people know that God is there. and he's here to do good and to just, get rid of evil. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.